Hi, Oliver.
Hi, Matthias.
How are things?
Fine. First working day. Happy New Year to you.
Oh, same to you. First working day. You are lucky. I start Monday, so.
Okay. Yeah, we had a public holiday yesterday.
Yeah, same here as well. But you know, I said maybe I start at the beginning of the week slowly, rather than just.
I start slowly at the end of the week, and then I can go to weekend again.
Yeah, that works as well. Yeah. I hope you had a good break.
Yeah, silent break, right?
It's like almost a year. I feel like we are in this long break at home, and it's like I don't want a break any longer.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I managed to be in office, I think, 3 times in the last 7 months or so.
Yeah, for us, we have to tell our manager that we need to go to office. Like if you want to work in the office, like I went to office just to do some expense reports and whatever, but I didn't go to work. And I never thought I would miss going to office, to be honest.
Yeah, no, we had the option to go, but the general recommendation is to work from home. Therefore, people can go to office if they wish, but not too many people do so.
Let's see what the vaccine will do, if it helps. Hi all, thanks for joining and welcome back and Happy New Year to you all. So let me share my screen. As usual, while we wait, we can add our names to the meeting minutes. Hi Tracy.
Hello, hi everybody. Happy 2021, if I'm allowed to say that.
And the year started very, up to speed. It's like,
oh well.
Let's not speak about that. So we have pretty similar agenda as last meeting. While we wait, I can talk about the agenda items. So we will do the usual action item review, followed by a heads up about what we did. Beginning of this week, we archived minutes of meeting from 2020. You can point to the location for the archived minutes of meeting, and then an update about upcoming events. The FOSDEM CIC day room schedule has been announced. I think it was last week. And then I believe the call for proposals date is now announced or will be announced for Citycon, which we can talk about it. And Tracy, you may add any other updates about the Citycon, followed up by events in CI/CD workstream to become its own SIG. This topic, Tracy brought up the topic during talk meeting this week, and then asked who should he reach out to. So we can talk about that and any input help from this SIG for the charter we are working on. We can talk about that. And finally, standardized metadata topic, which we agreed to start working on 2 low-hanging fruits. So let's see, we have 7 people. We can start slowly with action item review. So again, thanks for joining. Welcome all and Happy New Year. So the first action item is on me. I pinged Cameron before the break, and I haven't heard from him yet for the white paper contribution. So I suggest we close this action item, and I can still ping him because we may still have time for him to add last minute contributions. And if we can't do that, then that's the way it is. But I suggest we close the action item. And Ramin, I don't see him here. I can ping him offline to see if he got permission internally, because that's what he was trying to do last time I checked. I suggest we keep this action item open so we don't forget about their contribution to metadata work. And Tracy, Regan, and Steve Taylor to demo Ortelius, which will happen in 2 weeks, I think. We agreed to have that presentation on 21st of January. So I take that note here, and I will remind them before the meeting happens beginning of that week. So I keep that open. The next action item is on events in CI/CD workstream to provide info to standardized metadata topic. So I think, Andrea, maybe you can tell us. I believe you are busy with this charter work and this topic may have been deprioritized. So anything you want to add here?
No, nothing to add really. We didn't have our first meeting of the year yet.
Okay.
So.
Okay, then we can revisit this action item during next SIG Interoperability meeting to see if you have anything. If not, then we can close, and then you take your time to provide your input based on the work that will hopefully start happening soon there. Because I've seen a note in your minutes of meeting about how to, interface with this SIG when events workstream becomes SIG and vice versa. So I keep that open. And the next action item is on, or next 3 action items are on you, Tracy. So the white paper thing, I believe the creative team is still busy with the CDF yearly report.
Yeah, I think it's making its way to the top of the funnel. We've got the annual report well in hand, which means we'll be able to have them kind of take the attention to that. So just bear with us, and as soon as I have something for review, I'll get that over.
Okay, so I just realized I'm sharing wrong screen. So let me try. Okay, now you should be seeing the HackMD. Okay, should we keep it open, Tracy, or should we close it? Okay.
Just keep it pending.
Okay. Meeting invitation is updated, if I'm not mistaken.
That should be up to date.
Thanks for that. Let's close it. The repo James mentioned during the last meeting for standardized metadata, and I believe I created an issue for that in Foundation repo. So let me open that. Metadata. Yeah. So it is still open.
Okay, my brain's foggy on this one, but yeah, just leave that with me, and I can go do that.
Let me put the issue here. Okay. So Steve to start the work on commit metadata. So I don't see Steve here. So let's keep it open, which we will discuss anyway during the remainder of this meeting. Dave to start the work on artifact metadata, and Dave said that he will be a bit late to the meeting today, so we can keep that open as well and take it again when the topic comes up. And Emil to bring Eiffel example in new repo, and Emil is not here, so we keep that open as well. And similar to that action item, Steve and Trace to bring Ortelius example in new repo. So all these last 4 action items are about metadata, which we can talk about them during the topic. And we need the new repo for at least 2 of those action items. So anyway, that was all action items. Good that we closed some of those. And the next topic on the agenda is archival of 2020 meeting minutes. So while working on the keeping the minutes of meeting during the past meetings, I noticed that HackMD became pretty slow because of the amount of text on the document. So what we did was, Kara and me, we moved the 2020 minutes of meeting into a new file called meetings_2020 MD. All the past meetings minutes are there. So if you want to look at the historical minutes of meetings, you can take a look at that file. But the 2021 minutes of meetings will be kept in the same file on HackMD. So the link doesn't change for the upcoming meetings. And we have references on both of these files if you want to browse both of the documents. So if you go to 2020 minutes of meetings, we have a link here which points to the actual page with the most recent minutes of meetings. And here you have a meeting 22 to 2020 document. So that's some kind of logistics to keep things clean and tidy and responsive. That was just kind of announcement. And if you see any mistake on this minutes of meeting or the archived minutes of meetings, please feel free to fix those issues. And the next topic is upcoming events. So I think the closest event that will happen is FOSDEM 2021. And as you may recall, the CI/CD dev room was accepted to FOSDEM first time last year. I believe Tracy had a talk there to introduce Continuous Zero Foundation, which was good. And it was room full of people, maybe 50 to 100. I don't know how many people were there, but it was full room of people and the interest was pretty high. And it was similar this year as well. And there were quite many proposals, and thankfully 2 of the talks from CDF made into the schedule. And both of them are lightning talks, which is kind of good because like it makes total 40 minutes and we will talk about the interoperability special interest group, me and Kara there. So it's 20 minutes. And we'll simply give an update to the work we have been doing in the group, talking about how we started or what CDF is, to remind people CDF is there for them to come and join, followed by what is the special interest group interoperability trying to do the work. We start doing like white paper events in CI/CD and standardized metadata. It will be a summary, obviously, it is 20 minutes lightning talk. And that will be a good intro to Andrea's talk, I believe, because Andrea, you have a talk on events in CI/CD. You want to tell a few words about your session?
Yeah, so I plan to do something similar, so introduction, and maybe I'll skip a bit on the introduction of CDF since you're doing it already. We don't need to repeat that, but I'll discuss about the work that we have been doing in the events in CI/CD and where are we going and what kind of artifacts we plan to create and so on.
Here is the session description. So I think it's great that we have 2 sessions there and we'll have some more time to continue our outreach. And I think this will happen on 7th of February, Sunday. So it will start at 10. This is Central European time, if I'm not mistaken. And it will go until 6:05. And you can browse the schedule. There are many interesting talks here, like progressive delivery, chaos, and also CNCF will do GitOps working group introduction there. So it's like cross community presentations, both small and large communities. So the link to schedule is there. Yeah, Tracy.
No, just saying that's awesome that you've got those talks in and you'll be speaking about the 2 working groups doing that good work. And I see a good sprinkling of Tecton and Jenkins X. So yeah, no, amazing program. And
so the next one is Citycon. Yeah.
I was going to say it gives us a good deadline to get the white paper out and also get the events SIG as its own special group. So I think that will be good targets to make sure those things have all happened by then.
Yeah, then yeah, I think we can try to prepare a few those slides we intend to present during FOSDEM before the FOSDEM session, like during the next SIG meeting, so everyone can review and see if we missed anything and tell us what we should, point to people to, and then we can also do yeah, Citycon. So Citycon CFP will open next week, I believe, Tracy. So we can pass the word about Citycon during FOSDEM if the CFP stays open until after the FOSDEM. So let's, yeah, Tracy, please.
Yes, so Citycon CFP opens on Monday, and it will be open for a while. We'll have kind of an early bird deadline to encourage people to submit talks, but I think we'll keep it open for 4 weeks or so. So it should definitely be open at FOSDEM. So they'll, yes, that worth highlighting. And dates itself, 23rd and 24th of June. We'll come back to this group at some point to work out like what sessions to have. I think the BOFs were very successful last year. I think we also got some feedback about different ways to structure kind of interactive sessions, but we'll get to that in good time. But for now, just keep an eye out for the CFP, and registration is open. So if you want to go ahead and just get that sorted and register, then you can go ahead and do that.
Okay, any questions to Tracy?
Go start prepping your talk abstracts, every single one of you. What talks from you all? Good.
Put the link to registration as well. Okay. Thanks, Tracy.
Yeah, I think we're aiming for like 3,000 people. And just we opened registration and sent out an email to save the date. And I think we had 300 folks to sign up straight off. So yeah, it should be good.
Should I put numbers here so we can benchmark ourselves based on?
Sure. Go ahead. That's fine by me.
Always good to set some expectations. Registered. Good. So please, people, all of you, please submit some talks and we make some more noise about what the work we have been doing here and get more people take part in the SIG and CDF. Okay, thanks again, Tracy. And the next topic is events in CI/CD workstream to become a separate SIG. So let me open the talk meeting agenda. So during the meeting, I think, Tracy, you mentioned the idea about proposing or making events work stream to a SIG, make it a SIG. And we mentioned that the work stream members already started working on the charter, and the idea is to bring that into talk on 19th of January in 2 weeks. And then Laurent asked who should he reach out to, and I passed Andrea your name together with Andreas and Emil. So Andrea, either you can directly propose an agenda item in the meeting document, or reach out to Dan, or pick one of the ways you want to do, or then Laurent reaches out to you and others. So that is some kind of a heads up to you.
Okay, thanks.
And the other thing we may take a short discussion on is whether if we can help you with the work you are doing on the charter or not, or if you want to share anything you want this group to contribute to. I think you have a document on Google Docs which you started working on.
Yes, we started working on that, and we planned of having more content and discussing it by the first meeting of the events CI/CD group this year. So I don't know if it's ready for review this forum today.
So I see the link to document on your Slack channel. Is it okay? I put the link to the meeting in, so if people wants to have a
Sure.
look
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
give you input before your meeting, so you take that input as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Any input is welcome for sure.
And when is your next or the very first meeting, Andrea? Is it next Monday or week after next?
That's a good question. Let me check. Should be next Monday. I hope. No. Okay, I don't see it in the calendar, in my calendar, but I think it's next Monday.
Okay, let me.
Yeah, it's next Monday. I think we just recreated them, but I'm not sure the invitations went out directly. You're just on this calendar. I can add you in if you like. No, sorry, it's on the 18th.
18th.
Yep.
Is it?
Okay.
Okay.
18th, and it is 16 UTC, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Andrea, can I ask you, in the events in CI/CD workstream, you're building off of some of the definitions that have been developed in the cloud events group in the CNCF, which are fantastic definitions. They're really, really good. But I was wondering what level of collaboration is happening between those two groups?
Not much so far. We just thought it would make sense to use cloud events as a protocol for transporting our protocol definition, like as a base protocol. But I don't know if there was any involvement with the cloud events group before I joined the group. I will ask to find out, but there's been none since I joined myself. So. But it's a good idea, so to reach out to them.
Yeah, I think Tracy Reagan, when she talked about this idea during the last talk meeting before New Year, it was one of the benefits to increase the collaboration with CNCF and other communities to make the events work happening here more visible. So I think that is one of the ideas why this making events as top level SIG is discussed. And I think it is a great idea, so we can make even more noise and get more people collaborate with each other.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm not sure the work you're doing will direct impact on what the cloud events folks are doing, but it's good to have an open communication channel with them for sure.
Okay. So I put the link there for the document events workstream members working on. So as Andrea noted, the work is still in progress, but still, please take a look at the document and provide input and contribute to it so they have more eyes on the document. Thanks, Andrea. Okay, so the next topic is the continuation of discussion on standardized metadata. And just to remind everyone again where we left the discussion. So during the last meeting before New Year or Christmas break was to focus on the low-hanging fruits, like the things that can get us start doing stuff quickly. And James suggested working on commit metadata because like how difficult it could be to at least start working on describing what metadata that could be produced or consumed for commits. And the other metadata is about artifact. Again, it could be considered a similar thing, like how controversial it could be when we talk about artifacts from a metadata point of view. And we said, let's start that work in a separate repo and start collecting different works that's happening elsewhere and do some kind of comparison between them and find commonalities and put something in place as quickly as possible to push this work forward. So I want to pull in James and Dave here as the two people who brought commit and artifact metadata ideas.
Yeah, so if it's a repo, do we want to put that repo in the CD Foundation org, or like where should the repos go?
I think we said we can have a new repo under CD Foundation organization named like standardized metadata or Apple or whatever.
Sure.
And then start putting or collecting existing work under that repo and then start working on it. So, and that is, we discussed that as part of action item review, Dave. You missed that part, and Tracy will help us getting a repo in CD Foundation organization.
Okay.
And once
cool.
that repo is in place, we can send a notification to mail list and we can start putting material there.
Perfect. Yeah, I had so I posted, one of the last things I did before the new year was I went and kind of engaged with the GitOps community over in CNCF, and I got like 3 people who were super interested in helping with that effort as well. I know at least one of them, I think, joined here, and then one of them made the Argo contributions to the sort of Rosetta Stone over the holidays as well. So I think, yeah, once that's up, we've probably got a few people who will jump right in on that.
Yay, thanks for your evangelization efforts. I'm on it. I'm going to create that now. And I'll start inviting folks from, we're using the GitHub Teams feature, so we have an interoperability team, and I'll add folks on this call to that so you can access it.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, I've seen that Argo CD and I was like surprised, like sudden, I didn't know like that is that connection, you know, you had them.
No one from the Flux community wanted to engage, but the Argo CD community was really excited.
So which group you said? CNCF, GitOps, yeah?
Yeah. I posted in SIG app delivery, and I posted it in the GitOps as well, and I got a couple hits from both.
Yeah, I think Andreas involved in SIG app delivery as well, kept in context. But yeah, okay then. Yeah, Dave, you will see when the repo is created. So I hope you can start putting whatever you are thinking of doing for artifact topic.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is yet, but we'll make it happen.
Yeah, we can just, you know, still with pride, it's open source. We can look at what others are doing and start putting some stuff there. James, sorry, anything from your side?
Nothing from my side, no.
Okay. Then I will ping you as well on Slack once we have the repo. So we can perhaps move the Jenkins X. I think you put Jenkins X or Tecton there, yeah, James, on the document we have.
I put some Jenkins X resources.
Okay, so we can move.
It was last year, it feels a long time ago, yeah.
So we can move that Jenkins X example into the new repo. Anyone else wants to talk about standardized metadata?
Yeah, I have a kind of related topic, maybe a bit distinct. But one of the things I want to talk about is the end user community we have in CDF. Got together at the end of last year and pretty much set out what they want to do with CDF this year, which is kind of focus on topics every quarter. And we've come up with like an editorial calendar, which I hope to have something more consumable to publish next week. But suffice it to say that the very first topic that everybody was unanimously in agreement that was important was the broad topic of measuring DevOps success. And one key area of that will be kind of focusing on the 4 key metrics as laid out by the DORA folks. So the two speed ones and the 2 safety ones, MTTR and things like that. So what that's going to look like is we're going to be having some discussions in that community, and everyone's going to be kind of coming along and telling us what they're doing in reality. Like, are they measuring that? What tools are they using? What do they like? What do they, you know, what's easy to do? What's difficult? But the group is pretty keen to kind of connect that to everything else CDF is doing. So on one hand, we're looking to kind of build a campaign around it this quarter. So we'll feature measuring DevOps and those metrics in the podcast and the newsletters and things like that. But we're hoping to take it further and kind of connect with our projects and connect with groups like this. For instance, like, you know, the folks at Fidelity have already raised that having some common way of doing that, or, you know, not just having one dashboard in one project, but having some consistency across tooling in how we do this would be important to them. And in particular, we started looking at, I don't know if folks saw from Citycon, Dina Portman gave a super presentation about how she kind of automated Tecton to spit out these metrics, connected it up to a dashboard with GCP, and kind of displayed some really nice kind of traffic lights on those metrics. So we were going to take a look at frameworks like that, maybe sort of say, hey, okay, can you then use that with Jenkins X? Can we standardize on some of the APIs or the metadata, or what would it take to push this to be an area to standardize around? So I'd like to propose that we consider that in the interoperability group as a key focus area in addition to release metadata, and try to maybe schedule some time to have a deeper conversation around that, and maybe pull in folks like Dina Portman, who's in Tara Hernandez's group. And I've had some chats with Tara, and she's pretty interested in, well, just sharing what the approach is, why they decided to do that, what Google is thinking in terms of, you know, what they might want to do with that project. So maybe a few questions. I don't know, for the Jenkins X folks, have you looked at the stuff they've done with Tecton and kind of thrown that in as potentially a feature that Jenkins X could have as well?
Not yet. I'm going to take a look now. That sounds great. So that all sounds awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and yeah, maybe having trying to hack those together or doing a demo for this group could be some good starting points. But yeah, no, in short, we want to kind of double down on that topic. I think it's a significant area CDF could make an impact on the industry. And frankly, if our end users, the folks actually trying to deliver software, are asking for it, then I want to make sure that we help them kind of achieve their goals there.
So Tracy, I have a question. I put the name of the person you mentioned, Diane Portman. I don't know if I put it right. Can you correct it? And
yes.
Can
Dina
you
Portman,
put the link to the talk there as well?
Let me get you a lovely link.
Also, is it okay I action you again? So we give you any action, since we closed one of your action points to get us in touch with.
I'll just delegate, right.
Tracy to get SIG Interop in touch with Portman for demo you mentioned, yeah?
Yeah, so I've just sent a link to an outline blog post, which just kind of sections out the YouTube video. But yeah, I think you can see some nice bits in there about how they dump everything into a database and then pull it up into this dashboard and how you could try it out and hack on it.
Oh, I assume there's already some kind of demo or something on this talk.
Yeah, so just scroll down, you see some links and you can kind of.
Yeah, demo.
There's
Demo,
demos
okay.
and yeah, they've got a repo as well with the dashboard code. But yeah, similarly, if anybody has anything in a tool, like I know the Spinnaker folks have some dashboards. I know like CloudBeats has some proprietary things and GitLab do as well. We're just asking anybody who's got anything in this space around the metrics to share what they've done and just come join the conversation and see where we can drive it.
Anyone has any comments on this? I think it is pretty relevant to the discussions we have been having, like especially this metadata thing, since like if we know what kind of metadata is valuable to generate the metrics for measuring DevOps, then that could be an input to that work, and then we can somehow cross collaborate with the people who are doing this work, collecting and visualizing those metrics, and the people who are actually looking at what kind of metadata we are looking after. So that could help us on that work as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And I'm pretty excited about it, to be honest. So yeah, anything. So yeah, just.
So going back to that, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, I just want to say it's a very interesting topic, and I think it's very relevant it's a very relevant use case for the events area as well. So to keep in mind as one of the use cases that we might want to highlight, sending events so that you can collect this information.
So Tracy, since we are at the beginning of this metadata discussion as well, I am wondering if we can bring or invite Dina to our next meeting or the meeting after that meeting to have conversation around this and their or her view, and we will hopefully have some more discussions on metadata topics. So having her with us would be really great.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to reach out and invite her.
Okay. Okay, I think this was great. So that's that. Anyone wants to bring additional topic? Okay, then I take that as no. But again, thank you all for joining today, because like people are still coming back from holidays. Some people are still on holidays, so we didn't expect this to be a long meeting, but we still had good discussion. So then during the coming days, we will hopefully get the new repo for the metadata work, and then we can start putting stuff there, start moving what James already put up on that HackMD document. And then in parallel that, we can look at the events workstream charter draft document. And that discussion will most likely take place on January 19th during talk meeting. So please join to that meeting if you want to take part in the conversation. We can put the link to the talk meeting agenda where you can see the logistics information as well. And yeah, we will talk about FOSDEM before FOSDEM happens. And that's it. So thanks a lot again, and talk to you in 2 weeks, and have a nice rest of the week and have a nice weekend as well. Thank you very much.
Cheers,
Bye all.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.